Hey guys, it's me Mr. 250 and welcome back to Steins Gate 0. Glad to see people are enjoying it. I'm actually quite glad. I've been really excited about this for a while because I really missed the universe that was Steins Gate and the characters and everybody, so it's nice to come back to them and glad to see everyone else is enjoying it as well. Anyway, we last left off with Maho ? The murmuring got louder than before, but it felt more uncertain than surprised. On the screen, I could see a detailed 3D model of Maho, the girl who'd just been interpreting.
ちなみにこれは映画などで有名なドリンクワークススタジオに作成してもらったモデルです。
Which, by the way, I made the conscious decision to go ahead and, as we get tips, to go ahead and read them. Which will appear new, so it won't take me too long to find them, and it'll keep them a bit more relevant to the topics at hand. American CG Movie Production Company. Oh, DreamWorks. Gotcha, but they're calling it Drinkworks. Maho Hiajo chimed in from the back of the stage.
声については私のボイスサンプルをデータベースにして日本の山名が作ってくれました。
Yamana? Sorry, I'm used to square being a menu button, not auto. An instrument maker that was founded in the 19th century. In the 2000s, they began to develop and sell artificial voice software and DTM, software for PCs. This was CG? It sure looked real to me. The professor said something into the laptop's microphone. And then the 3D model of Maho Hiajo on the screen opened its mouth.
私はヒアジョウマホです。正確に言うなら78時間22分前のヒアジョウマホから派生した存在ということになります。
Oh yeah, someone else told me some other setting we should change. The reason I was getting kind of annoyed by the message speed, I kept pumping it up and it wasn't doing anything. That's because sync voice is on, so it's only going to display the text as fast as the voice. We're gonna have that off, I think. If you listen carefully, you might be able to hear something slightly off. But it sounded far more human than any artificial voice I'd ever heard.
先ほどから皆さんの質問を聞かせていただいていました。教授はどうして私を早く紹介しないのかと、とてももどかしく思っていましたよ。以前から感じていましたが、どうも教授は人が悪いようですね。まったくだわ。
The Maho Hiajo on the screen spoke with a slightly irritated expression. And the Maho Hiajo by the wall nodded in agreement. Dr. Leskinen simply smiled. What was going on here? What part of this was their biggest project? The rest of the audience didn't seem to have any more of a clue than I did.
皆さんの多くは疑問に思っています。人間の記憶をデータとして取り出したり、それを保存したり、さらにはそのデータを活用したり、そんなことが本当に可能なのかと。それでは私は一体何でしょうか。私は78時間23分前のヒアジョウマホの脳内から取り出された記憶を持ち、そのデータをベースにして動いているのです。
What did she just say? The professor said something else in rapid English and asked the Maho on the screen to translate it. But she, if she was the right word, hesitated and went silent. I looked at the real Maho, and she was responding exactly the same way.
教授、今のは。教授、今の発言はセクシャルハラスメントとして大学に訴えてもいいでしょうか。
Dr. Leskinen laughed cheerfully and responded to her. The conversation was in quick English, and over half the audience couldn't understand it. The real Maho sighed and took back the microphone.
教授はですね、私に対して、いえ、私の記憶で動作しているこのアマデウスに対して質問に答えてごらんと言いました。いつ頃までパパとお風呂に入っていたかとか。
Look at this scientist of a man over here.
初恋はいつだったかとか、何でも答えられるだろうと。ああ、もうそれ以上通訳しなくていいわ。恥ずかしいからやめてくれないかしら。私はそういう質問には一切答えないわよ。
The professor said something else, and the Maho on the screen groaned and turned away.
クレジットカードの番号なんてもっと言えません。あと、1週間前に着ていたパジャマの色なんて覚えてるわけないです。
What was this? It was so natural I couldn't tell at first, but this was something unbelievable, wasn't it? It felt very different than a typical AI. I could tell that much. It wasn't answering the questions it was given. And because they were embarrassing? Was it programmed to respond like that to certain questions for the purposes of this demonstration? It was possible, that's all it was, but if that conversation wasn't programmed in advance, the rest of the crowd seemed to reach the same conclusion I did, and the whispers started to turn to surprise.
ねえ、ちょっといい加減このいたずらな子供を何とかしてくれないかしら。何をしたいのか理解はできるけど、とにかく恥ずかしいわ。
The copy of Maho was complaining to the original. It felt like I was watching a pair of twin sisters talking.
いたずらな子供ではなく、レスキネン教授が面白がってなかなか説明してくれないので、代わりに私がお話しします。
Maho walked back to the professor.
皆さん、もうお分かりかと思いますが、アマデウスは自分が話していいこととそうでないこと、あるいは私たちはアマデウスにそういったプログラムを一切施していません。
I knew it.
彼女は与えられた私の記憶からそれを独自に判断し、自律的にそういう行動をとっているのです。
The Maho on screen suddenly took over for her.
そしてこれは先ほどの医療分野への応用とは方向性が真逆になってしまい、研究所内でもずっと議論が交わされていることですが、私は不必要な情報をいつの間にか忘れてしまうというか、記憶の引き出しから出してこられなくなるのです。例えば1週間前に着ていたパジャマの色、確かにそれを知っていたはずなのに今は思い出せません。そのような情報は生存していく上で必要がないからです。このようにアマデウスは記憶のインプットやアウトプットが人間のそれと非常に近いのです。これは私たちも驚くべき結果として研究を重ねている最中で、まだ詳しくは解明されていません。
As Maho finished up, Dr. Leskinen took the microphone back. She resumed interpreting as he continued the lecture.
However, what really surprised us
さらに
Back to the
私
robot
たちを
voice.
驚かせたのは、アマデウスが意図して嘘をつくということ。
another some sort of bug
何らかの
or
トラブル
this
や
is
ミスではなく、
purposeful
わざとそうするのです。
behavior. Lying is literally just
嘘は
another method of human
人
communication.
間が他人とコミュニケーションを取る上での一つの手法です。
Amadeus examined the memories
アマデウスも
and has no
インプットされた記憶を自律的に検討し、
if it
必要であれば
necessary.
自分や他人のために平気で嘘をつきます。教授、誤解を招くような言い方はやめてください。嘘をつくのに平気なことなんてありません。私だって両親が咎めます。
I'm so sorry, and
Dr. Leskinen cut off. He seemed to be hesitating. Maho didn't seem especially surprised by this. Maybe she knew the reason. But the moment passed and the professor continued. And Maho translated his words like there was nothing shocking about them at all.
This has led us to some
この
interesting
ような検証を続けていくことで最終的に私たちは
For one, we believe it's possible
ア
for
マデウス
individuals
に
to eventually
人
possess
間
a
と
mind
同様の魂を宿すことができるのではないかと考えています。
I was stunned. A soul? Should one of the leading brain scientists in the world really be using a word with such a vague definition?
In other words, through
これこそ
artificial intelligence.
本当の意味での人工知能ということになります。
The whole hall got very quiet. And it was sheer chaos for a while after that, as everyone tried to debate their own personal theories with Dr. Leskinen at once. It was thanks to Izaki that I was able to get into the reception held after the ATF was over. They told me there was a dress code, so I went all the way back to my parents' house to get a suit to change into. At first, all that effort paid off, as Izaki introduced me to some of the country's top researchers. Riken Jaksa Imis Institute of Material Structure Science. Let's take a look at all that. Okay, Riken, the Institute of Physical and Chemical Research, founded in 1917, it's Japan's only general natural sciences institute. Research at Riken covers a variety of fields, like physics, engineering, chemistry, computational science, biology, and medicine. Space is located in Waco City, Saitama. There are also labs in Hyogo, Kanagawa, and other locations in Japan. Riken is also has research centers in America, England, and other countries. The Japan Aerospace Exploration Agency, the National Aerospace Agency of Japan, an independent administrative agency formed in October 2003 by uniting the Institute of Space and Aeronautical Science, the National Aerospace Laboratory, and the National Space Development Agency. It primarily does space and aeronautical research. Its headquarters is located at the Aerospace Center in Chofu, Tokyo, and it has other space centers and observatories located all throughout the country, such as Usuda in Nagano, Tsukuda in Abaraki, and Sagamihara in Kanagawa. It also has Japan's only 2 rocket launch pads, located in Ichinora. Oh boy, here comes bad pronunciation in the game. Be aware that's going to happen a lot. In Tanegashima in Kagoshima. As of March 2010, it employs about 1,500 people. And the Institute of Material Structural Science, a lot less information. A lab at the High Energy Accelerator Research Organization, KEC, located in Tsukuba, Ibaraki. It primarily works in using electron accelerators to investigate the structure and properties of matter. That was a long way out for that. But before long, Izaki ran off to suck up to some university professor, and I was left completely abandoned, and I got a text message. I can't believe you go to a fancy party. Die in a fire, Mr. Fancy Pants. That seems like an Ocarina answer. You could have helped too, you know. No way! Then don't complain. But I'm jealous you get to go to a party. There's lots of hot rich girls, right? It's mostly guys, I think. Lots of older scientists. And yet I'm seeing about half women in this picture right here. Huh? Oh, Crane. Hang in there, man. Is that all you ever think about? My own personal target, Dr. Leskinen, was surrounded by a bunch of famous scientists. It didn't feel like a mere student would be welcome. And so all I did was stand around and eat from a buffet by the wall. To be honest, I couldn't tell if the food was any good or not. It looks fancy at the very least. Whenever my glass got empty, a smiling waiter was always around to fill it up again. And so I found myself drinking more than I intended. My stomach was already so full it hurt. The whole place felt like it was another world.
やっぱりこういうのには向かないわ。
At that exact moment I spoke, I heard a girl next to me say the exact same thing. Surprised, I looked over at her. Our eyes met. Ah, it's you again.
あなた
I know, right? That's what I said. What was a middle school girl doing here? And then a moment later, I realized it was Maho Hyajo. She was wearing the exact same outfit she'd been wearing during the lecture. A lab coat in a place like this? That's just what the old me would have done.
あなたは
Maho was clearly out of place. Why? Because she was still wearing her lab coat.
なんで白衣なんです
I couldn't help but ask.
ちゃんとした服も持ってきたつもりだったのよ。
She was sure she had, but she hadn't. And that's why she was standing in the corner, trying not to attract attention.
あなた昼間受付にいた人ね。
岡部倫太郎です。東京電機大学の学生で伊崎ゼミで勉強してます。
I handed her one of the business cards that I'd thrown together after Izaki told me I needed them. She grabbed one of her own out of a stack and carelessly put it in my hands.
いいわ、無理に丁寧に話さなくても。
That was a huge help.
珍しい名前でしょ、私。
ああ、誰も読めないとか言ってたっけ
I looked at the card and saw that the pronunciation of her name was written in unusually large letters. That was probably because of how people kept screwing it up.
沖縄ではよくある名字なんだけれどね。
沖縄出身なのか
曽祖父と曽祖母がね、移民なのよ。私はアメリカ生まれのアメリカ育ち。
ハーフにはあんまり見えないな。クォーター
外れ。祖父祖母父母すべて日本人よ。
Oh boy. What?
DNA は生粋のジャパニ
Thought
ー
you were
ズ。
done. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Let's look at DNA. That should be exciting. Wow. Deoxyribonucleic acid, commonly called genes. Structured like a double helix and consists of 4 bases. Adenine, guanine, cytosine, and thymine. Thymine. That sounded really like country-ish, southern. All of which are paired off of with one another. Talking is very difficult tonight if you can't tell. The nature of these base pairings determines the genetic information of a creature. The number of bases varies by species. In the case of humans, that number is 3.1 billion.
へえ
And then the conversation stopped. I'm a terrible conversationist, honestly. Can't you tell? Because my voice. The old me would have gone full. Oh, that's a word I'm really not good at saying. Chunibyo? It started ranting about conspiracies and magic powers. whether the other person cared or not, but you can't really call that a conversation. So let's go over that definition again. Literally, 8th grader's disease. This term refers to the slightly unusual actions and speech patterns commonly used by Japanese boys undergoing puberty. It can also be used as a pejorative term towards people who left puberty a long time ago, but still say highly embarrassing things as if they were still kids. Chunibyo refers to someone who performs antisocial, misanthropic, or delusional actions, or make statements in an attempt to make themselves seem like a grown-up. While the speaker may think that they're really cool, from the perspective of an adult they look ridiculous. Chunibyo can be broken down into categories, one of which is the evil-eye Chunibyo, which seem to be convinced that he has a special anime power or backstory. For example, an evil eye that gives him magical abilities. Strictly speaking, Ocarine falls into this category. I had no idea what to say to someone I'd never met before. I'd been working at becoming a real adult, even buying and studying Min magazines, but none of it really helped. Without anything to talk about, I looked over to Dr. Leskinen. He seemed to be giving a lecture on neurons to a bunch of scientists.
今日はすまなかったな。
何が？
いや、セミナーの途中で邪魔を。
ああ、あれね。気にすることないわ。あなたが声を上げなかったら、多分私が同じことをしていたから。
いいのか、そんなこと言って。教授が言ってたじゃないか。科学者たるもの、常に冷静にって。
今のは科学者としての発言じゃないわ。だから構わないのよ。
It must have really ticked her off, because she grabbed a cocktail from a passing waiter and gulped it down. Her cheeks turned a pretty shade of pink for an instant, but no longer. She might have had a high alcohol tolerance.
だけど、やっぱり良くないわね。反省する。ああいう批判は、言い方こそ悪いけれど、それでも事実には違いないんだもの。私たちの研究がまだ無謀の域から出ていないと言われれば、確かにその通りよ。
そうなのか。
取り組まなくてはいけない課題が山積みだわ。さっきセミナーで話した以上にね。例えば記憶データを元の脳に書き戻すことができても、それを脳が利用できなければ何の意味もないの。記憶があっても思い出せない状態、つまり記憶喪失の脳と同じになってしまう。
As Maho spoke, I remembered. I remembered all the lectures and theories that Kurisu had given me when she was making the time leap machine.
確か人間が記憶にアクセスしようとするときは前頭葉から側頭葉へ信号が行くんだったよな。
Time for another science lesson. Frontal lobe. Part of the cerebrum located at the front of the brain. It controls thought, will, action, movement, creativity, and more. The frontal lobe can be further divided by location into the prefrontal cortex, motor cortex, and premotor cortex.
ええ、トップダウン記憶検索信号ね。
This is the only thing I don't like about reading every tip as we get to it, because it does have us jumping in and out of the story a lot. Nerve signals in the cerebrum that are sent from the frontal lobe to the temporal lobe during memory retrieval. And then I started to talk, remembering what Kurisu had told me about her theories as I went. When I used specialized terminologies whose meanings I barely remembered, Maho would tell me what they were.
で、最後に側頭葉に記憶を書き戻す過程で、一緒にコピーした疑似パルスを前頭葉の方に送り込めば、記憶検索信号はちゃんと働くと 思う。
あなたそれを自分で導き出したの？
ああ、いや、
Maho looked back at the business card I'd given her.
脳科学専攻じゃないわね。ということは誰かに？それとも論文で？それはないわ。まだ論文にはまとめられてなかったはず。
何かおかしいこと言ったか、俺。
そうじゃなくて、私の後輩がね、全く同じ理論を提唱していたことがあるのよ。どのスタッフもずっと懐疑的だったけど、彼女だけは絶対に証明できるって言い張っていたわ。結局実証試験に進む前に彼女はいなくなっちゃったんだけど。
それは。
Should I tell her? Should I tell her about me and Kurisu? In this world line, there's almost no connection between me and Kurisu.
どうしたの？
I made up my mind. If I wanted to follow my dreams, I needed to act.
実はこの理論、クリスからレクチャーされた。
今なんて？
マキセ・クリスが教えてくれたんだよ。
クリスがあなたに？いつ？どうして？
彼女がこっちに留学してた時だ。友達になってこういう話をよくした。
Of course, that was a lie. Kurisu and I became friends in the Alpha World line. Not this one. But a small lie like this was probably okay.
そうだったの。あのクリスが。ありがとう。感謝するわ。
Her words surprised me. That was the one thing I didn't expect to hear.
何が？
彼女と友達になってくれてよ。日本に来てたった一人で、たった一人で勉強していてもきっとつまらなかったと思うから。
口喧嘩ばっかりだったけどな。
あの子らしいわね。絶対に負けを認めなかったでしょ。
ああ、へりくつばっかりこねていた。
Now I'm getting sad here.
ロボトミー手術してあんたの前頭葉を書き出してやるぞとかよく言われたし。
I'm pretty sure people know what lobotomy is, but a method of treating mental illness by performing surgery on the skull. Small hole is opened in the skull and a long knife is used to remove the frontal lobe. In some cases, this was sufficient to cure the illness, and the inventor was even given the Nobel Prize due to his work. However, due to the serious psychological side effects and damage to the personality caused by the loss of the frontal lobe, lobotomies were banned worldwide in the 1970s.
まさかそんなこと。クリスなら言いそうね。
だろ？ちゃんと後輩の教育をしておいてほしかった。
その点に関しては認めるわ。陳謝します。
She smiled, or so I thought. And then all of a sudden, she started to cry.
どうした？
I didn't have any better idea, so I grabbed my handkerchief. She didn't seem to know why she was crying herself. And neither did I. Had I said something during the conversation that set her off?
大丈夫か？
平気よ。ごめんなさい。
She didn't take my handkerchief. Instead, she took a tissue out of her pocket and wiped her eyes.